Welcome to the Writers Weekly Podcast, a forum geared toward the writing enthusiast and those who want to make money from their writing. I'm Brian Whidden, managing editor of Writers Weekly, and I'll be your host along with Angela Hoy, the creator of Writers Weekly and president and CEO of BookLocker.com, a full-service book publishing company. Whether you want to learn how to become a professional writer, how to find writing gigs, or even publish your own book, then you come to the right place. We'll be discussing all kinds of topics relating to the writing and publishing industries. Don't forget, you can also click over to writersweekly.com. There, you'll find not only thousands of articles about professional writing, you can also find current paying markets and job listings to help you boost your writing career and even your bottom line. But for now, let's get on to this episode of the Writers Weekly Podcast. Hello again, and welcome to yet another episode of the Writers Weekly Podcast. I'm Brian Whidden, your host, with Angela Hoy, president and CEO of BookLocker.com, a full-service publishing company. Hey, Angela.
Hey, how are you today?
I called you Angela. That's weird.
It is weird.
So, today we are going to be talking about something called author coaches or publishing coaches. But first, last week Angie had an adventure.
Oh, I did.
I stayed home, but you had an adventure.
I packed my bags and headed down to Rome, Georgia, and our daughter gave birth to grandchild number 5 last Wednesday. His name is Luke. He's adorable. He weighed 8 pounds, 10 ounces, and then he peed on the nurse right after he was born, and then they weighed him again, and he was 8 pounds, 9 ounces, so that was a pretty big pee.
Usually happens to me when I'm drinking.
You don't even drink.
When I used to drink. All right.
Baby and mom are fine after some postpartum blood pressure issues. Luke is the sweetest, best baby in the world. Of course, I got to hold him a lot. And he didn't like being on my shoulder, but if I laid him across my lap on his back and kind of hiked him up sideways and patted his butt, he would just snooze, just go right to sleep. Really, really good baby. Good eater and a good pooper. Pooped 8 times the first night at home. 8 times the middle night he pooped. So, go Luke.
Boy, thank God that doesn't happen to us when we get older.
Wait a minute. We're just not old enough.
Oh, stop. I don't look forward to that.
Big blessing last week, and I'm glad to be back home and catching up on my work. So
yeah, catching up on work is always fun. Trying to jump back in and grab everything that built up while you weren't there. But
yeah,
I did a pretty good job of keeping things up to snuff.
Well, chickens were still alive when I got home. So
well, there's that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, author coaches, also called publishing coaches. What is it, and why would you possibly need one? Angie, you want to start this off?
Well, they're called author coaches, book publishing consultants, and book publishing coaches. They basically all do the same thing, and they mainly cater to people that aren't very tech savvy, or authors who need somebody, kicking them in the butt to get that book done.
Or even just a first-time author who doesn't understand, who hasn't been through the publishing process before.
Right. And they can be invaluable because they know the publishing industry inside and out. Yeah. And they can help authors get from A to Z, faster than they would have. Also, they cater to seniors because a lot of people don't have time to write a book until they are retired. And a lot of seniors aren't as tech savvy, with like metadata, cover design, interior formatting, to say nothing of the editing. Yeah. And working with a publisher to make sure all the files are just right to get everything done.
And we do everything we can to try to make the publishing process as easy as possible with our authors.
Our BookLocker authors.
But the reality is that it is a big process with a lot of moving parts.
It is, and we know it like the back of our hand.
Yeah.
And we can guide authors through it, but there are some authors who are not able to, who they need an extra hand.
Yeah.
They really do. We've of course we've dealt with numerous senior citizens. we've also worked with some special needs folks.
Yeah.
And we always give them extra care, of course. But they come to us when their manuscript's already finished. A lot of these book coaches step in long before that.
That's true. That's true. And one other aspect of it is as much as we do the best we can to make our authors feel comfortable through the process, and sometimes it is just better to have somebody that you hired that is working specifically for you as kind of a go-between between that publisher and you, because you don't understand everything that publisher is explaining to you.
Right.
And, we're not out scamming people. We're not screwing people over. But sometimes we tell people, here's how it has to work, and they don't want to believe us. And if you have somebody that you've hired to help you who says, yes, that is the process, they're not BSing you, and this is what we need to do, it would make things a lot smoother, I believe.
I have an example. I was working on a book yesterday, and I spent I'm filling in for one of our employees. I spent probably 3 or 4 hours formatting a book. It was about 455 pages, and it had numerous photos in it. So I resized the document to what the size that the author chose to have their book published at. And I had to move the photos around and move the captions around, and I had to make the captions in italics, and I had to center the photos, and some of them needed to be cropped a little bit because they had some black lines on them. That's the kind of detail work that we do for our authors. Well, I did all that work, and the author came back to me and said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I pulled all those photos off the internet."
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay. Common misconception is that everything on the internet is free. And he said, he was being very nice about it. He didn't want to get into trouble. I hadn't even brought it up because it looked like photos that he had taken of his adventures, but apparently that wasn't, he'd pulled some off the internet. And I explained to him that even one copyright infringement lawsuit can cost you upwards of $250,000. That's just for one photo. And he thought that he didn't see the word copyright on the pages with the photos, so he assumed they weren't copyrighted. And I explained to him that every photo that a photographer takes is automatically copyrighted. You don't have to register to own the rights to a photo you take. So either the photographer owns the rights, or if they were employed at the time and taking photos for their employer, the employer owns the rights. So unless you use a legitimate service like Pixabay.com, a trustworthy one, you can't pull pictures off the internet. So that poor guy, also a senior citizen, I think he's like 90. He was in there this morning, delete, getting rid of all those photos that I worked so hard to get just right. So,
I've got a similar story, but I'm going to catch that a little bit later when we're going over some of the other stuff.
Well, this is an example of if you have a book coach and your publisher tells you you can or can't do something, that coach will tell you if the publisher's right or wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are, just look at all our past episodes, how many scammers there are in the industry, but even some legitimate publishers will give authors misinformation.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have somebody there to say, hey, is this true or not? Yeah.
Okay, so who are these coaches? And I think even a better question, who should your author coach be?
Yeah.
Anybody can put up a website and slap the name author coach, publishing coach, whatever, and start letting people hire them to, quote, help them through the publishing process. But we have had numerous experiences with, a lot of them like to call themselves, author representatives or author reps or something, who
we've had some bad experiences.
Clearly had no clue of the process. And basically it was a big ego trip for them.
Right.
It was, I'm this person's representative and you're going to do this and going to do that and da-da-da-da-da.
And you're going to break the law on behalf of my author client. Yeah, right.
We've literally come to the point sometimes of having to tell the author, we're no longer even going to talk to this person.
Oh, we've done that.
Yeah, we're flat out, either you're going to talk to us or nothing's going to get done. But we're not dealing with this person that you've hired for God knows what reason, because all they're doing is gumming up the works and pissing us off. And
not only that, we were recently working with one, and I told the author, I'm no longer corresponding with this person. she was charging him by the hour. I think it was like $200 an hour. And she was dragging the project out. She was adding all kinds of unnecessary correspondence that he was paying for.
Yeah.
And it was a complete waste of her time and my time and a complete waste of his money. So people do need to worry, be concerned because, anybody can put a shingle up on the internet and say, I do this and make up some fake bio. And you have to be very, very careful about that. But we do have 2 book coaches that we recommend to authors. Well,
let's start with what you really want to look for in a coach.
Okay.
So, you want to start out with somebody that typically is either an editor or an author themselves.
Yeah.
You want somebody that's got experience in this.
With numerous books on the market.
Yeah, not just, hey, I published a book 10 years ago. No, you want somebody that's probably, put out several books.
Yeah.
And again, an editor, somebody that's knowledgeable in the English language, grammar, sentence structure, all that stuff.
They need to be a highly trained editor.
Yeah. Much better than you.
Because they're not only helping you with your book, but they're also going to be helping you with your marketing.
That's true, too.
And you want all of that correspondence, including the correspondence they have with your publisher, to be extremely professional.
Yep, absolutely. An interesting thing came across my desk just yesterday. Somebody emailed us telling us that they had changed the URL for their contact information from an article that had been written back in 2005. And it was from an editor of a regional online newspaper in Nevada. Okay. And I'm going somewhere with this. And they had changed things over the last 20 years, and now they had this whole new URL for their website, right? And they wanted me to change it. No problem. I go in and I change it, and I kind of look over the article. I see it. Wow, it's 2005, and this guy was actually writing about the kinds of things that people were submitting to him as an editor, and how and the writing styles he was seeing. And one of the things that jumped out at me was he's talking about people using email speak in their writing. And I said, holy crap, that was 20 years ago we were identifying this. And we still see it. People who will write a manuscript for a book, and it's written like they banged out an email.
Or that they were texting.
Or we're texting. Yeah. The grammar's all messed up. There's no punctuation or their capitalization, sentence. Everything is just garbage, because that's how we have become in our writing, because we're so used to writing, what would the word be, casually to each other. We no longer sit down and write out a well-worded letter to somebody to send in the mail. We just crank out a quick text, and we don't have time enough to worry about making sure everything is capitalized properly, make sure the punctuation is right, make sure that your spacing your spacing between paragraphs. You just write out whatever you want and then send it, and they're supposed to figure it out.
And that's why it's so important, if you hire a book coach, that person's also a professional editor.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because again, it's become inherent in the culture. Unless you did pretty well in your own English class. Of course, then again, what they're teaching in school is about crap anymore. Anyway,
that's true.
So, so they're invaluable for authors who may not understand book proposals, editing, formatting, cover design, uploads, metadata when it comes to your book's information.
Yeah.
And these are just some of the things that go into publishing a book. So you want to have somebody that really is knowledgeable and can prove it.
Yeah, right.
Now, we have 2 folks that we highly recommend because we have worked with them and we know what their credentials are. And that is Clayton Jones, right here in the Chattanooga area with us, and Ricky Pittman, who's down in Louisiana, who we just had on last week.
Yeah, that was episode 24. You can.
I think, was it 24? I think we're almost in the 30s now.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
Maybe it's 34.
That could be.
Okay. It's the one before this one on writersweekly.com/podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. So Ricky Pittman, really great guy, got lots and lots of books out there. I forget the count.
18.
About 20, 18.
He's published 18 books, and he has worked with BookLocker and guided authors through our system for them. And of course, he knows BookLocker like the back of his hand, so he can do it quite quickly.
And both of these men are college professors in either English, literature, composition, creative writing. Each one has their own little thing, but they're in that genre.
And they're both also professional editors.
And they are professional editors, so they know what they're doing.
And Ricky Pittman is outstanding at selling books. He knows what he's doing. And Clayton Jones is an expert book marketer.
Absolutely. Clayton Jones is getting a lot of success in helping people market their books on the internet.
His social media marketing campaigns are doing very, very well. He also makes TikTok trailers that are getting tons of views.
Yeah.
So
what are some of the things that Ricky and Clayton can offer folks?
Well, Clayton provides hands-on manuscript feedback, of course, straightforward advice on traditional and self-publishing options. He's not going to push you to use BookLocker. If he thinks that your book is worthy of a traditional contract, he's going to help you out with that. Book proposals, that's a big one. When people submit their BookLocker does not publish anything and everything. We're not one of the author meat markets. We're very selective about what we publish. And because of that, libraries and bookstores buy our books. If authors using Amazon KDP, many libraries and bookstores refuse to order books published by Amazon KDP and some of the other author meat markets. So Clayton also helps with book proposals. He provides clear expectations, timelines, and next step planning for what's happening now, what's going to happen next. And he will work directly with the publisher or the publishing services company on behalf of the author. And, a lot of authors just want to start writing the next book.
Yeah.
They just want to hear, you take care of this, kind of like your secretary. You take care of this. And because the book coach knows what they're doing, and the author just starts writing their next books.
Yeah.
And also he helps prepare the author for the book launch.
And something about Clayton Jones is we are on the phone with him every day.
Every day. I talk to him every day.
Yeah. A little bit of discussion about his clients and things that are going on. And then we just, sometimes we just shoot the breeze about, whatever's going on in our areas.
Yeah.
But we are in constant contact with him. So, he is a good choice if you need somebody to help you out with your book or your publishing or your marketing. So Ricky Pittman, tell us about him.
Like I said, he has 18 books on the market. He has traditionally published titles. He's got self-published titles. He has co-authored books. One was we published, it was about a sea captain.
Yeah.
We published, it was the man's autobiography, and the family gave Ricky the manuscript and said, can you turn this into a book? And he did. So he's a jack of all trades. He travels all over the southern United States promoting his books at events, mainly historical events. And he's called the Bard of the South. He's also a singer and songwriter. And he gets a lot of attention on Facebook. I look at his Facebook page every day because he's always got a song he's playing or something.
And something really, really also really cool about Ricky is, and I don't know if he would, I don't see it advertised anywhere. I don't know if he calls himself a historian, but he is.
Oh, absolutely.
When he writes, some of the books that he's written, I'm just like, where'd you even come up with this idea of this particular person? Who is this? And it turns out that he's gone in and dug into historical records and actually talked to people and found, who knows this and who knows that and who else can I talk to, and dig to get as much as he can about a biography of some person that, I've never heard of. But then when you look at the story, it's like, wow, that is an interesting person. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very good researcher.
So a great researcher. So that's pretty unique on his part. So what kind of services does he offer?
Well, he responds to all emails, texts, and queries within 24 hours.
That's good.
Yeah. He guides the authors through so he specifically coaches authors through working with BookLocker. And he's very good at it. And the books get on the market a lot faster because he knows our process like the back of his hand as well. He's published 12 books through BookLocker. Again, with him as the author, him with a co-author, or where he was the book coach and he was helping the author through the process. He researches and constructs personalized marketing plans for books. He's very good at getting books into libraries. marketing to civic organizations, media interviews, that's radio, TV, podcast, blogs, etc. Finding recommendations in and beyond the author's region, which is important. And also, he instructs on how to best utilize author discounts to increase profits. And what he's talking about is authors who want to buy their books at a discount from Book Locker and then take them to events.
Yeah.
So, and he will caution you from buying too many. Or he will look at the specific event and recommend how many copies you need to purchase. And so you don't buy too many, or heaven forbid you don't buy enough. Yeah. He identifies target audiences. He designs flyers. He helps design and improve the author's bio. Again, he's also a professional editor. How to best use and order promotional items. How to create a press kit. I mean, he can do everything.
Yeah.
And helps authors obtain short blurbs from their contacts to promote their book. And he recommends specific books if authors are concerned about their writing skills to improve their chance of success. Ricky has a package price. It's $1,200 right now.
Okay.
So as of this recording, it's $1,200.
All right.
So again, Ricky Pittman, Bard of the South, and Clayton Jones.
I think Clayton is kind of an a la carte guy, right? You decide what you want him to do, and then he'll piece things together and give you a quote on that. Whereas Ricky has kind of a package deal. You hire me for this, and this is everything that you're going to get. So,
right,
yeah.
and both of them will give you a free consultation, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what these guys are offering specifically. In general, though, most book coaches offer things like structured guidance and accountability, and this could go to the writing process as well. It's not necessarily this person doesn't necessarily step in when you have your manuscript ready. They can help you with the writing process also.
True.
And they can help break down, writing your book and getting it published. That's a big process. Just like I said, there's lots of moving parts, and a person that knows a way around can help you kind of chill out and break it up into pieces so that it doesn't seem so intimidating.
Right.
Yeah. He can they can help set schedules for you if you're bad at, doing things on the regular. And they can provide consistent check-ins to prevent writer's block and keep you on track.
Yeah. It's also nice when you're working on a book to have somebody kind of like your, a little bird on your shoulder, keeping you moving, keeping you going ahead.
Yeah.
It's not just writer's block. I mean, time management.
Yeah.
Getting interrupted all the time. And you've got somebody who's been there, who's worked on so many books, and they know how to get past all of those obstacles that authors face when they're trying to get their book published. Yeah.
And again, just helping to keep you from becoming overwhelmed. We get so many people when they first sign up with us for their first book. And one of the first things we'll hear from is, I'm so afraid. There's just so much going on, and I don't know what to expect. And and we have to kind of try to talk them down as best we can.
Well, what I tell those authors is, we do this every day, all day long.
Yeah,
it's no big deal. We're going to get you through the whole thing. I have a list of publishing steps for authors that say, "Okay, my book is finally finished. I'm so nervous about what's about to happen," and I send them that list. It's like 15 different things. This involves, send the manuscript back and forth, cover design, how we collect the metadata and everything, and then we upload to the printer, and they sent the print galley to the author, and they need to approve it. It's just these, it's basically like 15 steps. And when I send that to those frightened authors, they go, "Oh, that doesn't look so bad at all.
Yeah,
I can do that."
But if you got, if you've got one of these coaches on your side, they can also help just explain, hey, just chill. We're on this step now, and we're not doing anything else until this step's done. So this is what we're going to focus on. And
also, when we get to the actual publishing steps, where we get involved, we're working with the coach.
Yeah, sure.
So the author can just sit back and go, "Okay, I know I'm working with professionals, and they're going to make it happen." Of course, the authors get copies of their files to approve.
Yes,
absolutely,
of course.
But the whole back and forth, day-to-day thing, the author doesn't need to be involved with that at all if they're using a book coach. Yeah.
And then again, because they are experts, if you've hired an expert, now if you just grab somebody that claimed to be an author rep without doing any homework, God knows what you're going to end up with.
That's true.
But they offer personalized and professional input on writing craft, structure, pacing, things like that. And again, because they understand the industry, they basically act as a liaison between the author and publisher, like we were talking about before.
Right.
And especially a publishing coach who has a personal relationship with the publisher you're going to use, that can really help streamline things.
That's true. When I was talking about that woman who was charging that guy $200 an hour, when she would contact me, she really wasn't on the top of my list.
Yeah.
But when Clayton Jones or Ricky Pittman calls me,
we jump.
Pick it right up.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're professionals, and I know they're treating authors right.
Mm-hmm.
And we want the authors to be happy and the book coaches to be happy. Yeah.
And any publisher, as hard as they try, I mean, they only have so much time to hold your hand through the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
That includes us. And we hold people's hands.
Oh, yeah.
But again, we have several authors, new authors every month that come in, and we're working on multiple books all the time.
We're working on hundreds of books at one time.
Yeah.
But our process is streamlined.
Yeah.
We've got specific people that do specific things. We get a book to market within a month.
Yep.
And we have a great reputation. Better Business Bureau, if you look us up, all 5-star reviews.
And it will still help if you have somebody that you hired that is explaining what the publisher is explaining, because again, the publisher only has so much time to deal, to explain everything to you. Mm-hmm. But you can get it broken down into more understandable pieces if you've hired somebody to work with you through the process.
I think most authors are hiring these book coaches because, again, they don't want to deal with the paperwork.
True.
They don't want the administrative headaches. They don't even want to deal with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
They just want somebody to get the book to the publisher, get it published. They'll keep writing. And I think that's why most people hire book coaches, because they don't want to deal with the nitty-gritty stuff. Yeah.
And like one of the services that Ricky Pittman specifically lists in his credentials is helping you define your target audience and align your manuscript with industry standards.
Yeah.
Because when you're writing a book, you do need to worry about, well, who is going to read this book? Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of authors just write a book and throw it out there, hoping everybody's going to read it.
Right.
Well, there's a large majority of the population that's not going to read it.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out who are the most likely people who will want to buy your book, and then how do you get that book visible to them? And
both Clayton and Ricky both help authors with that. Determine your target audience.
And they do that by being directly involved in your marketing strategy. Hiring, one of the worst things I think you can do is going to even reputable publishers, hiring their marketing services is just a bad idea. You're going to spend a bunch of money. Mm-hmm. They're treating you as one of the numbers of people that have paid them for those services, and it's a cookie cutter approach.
What I've always told authors is, if the publisher's making money on the sale of each copy of that book, if those marketing services really sold a lot of books, wouldn't they be offering those services for free?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But these book coaches can tell you what really works with book marketing and what doesn't, and they will save you a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's customization, unlike the generic stuff you're going to get from these big publishers that offer marketing service. And as you will notice, booklocker.com does not offer any marketing services.
We give 2 free books to our authors, 90-plus days of promoting your book online, and 55 do's and don'ts of book selling. We also, as our top 2 publishing packages, and of course you can buy it a la carte, we do book trailers. Those sell books, and we give the book trailers to the authors so we put them on YouTube and on our website. Mm-hmm. They can put them on they get a copy. They can put on social media. Yep. They can run it once a week. They can put it on their website. They can put it on their own YouTube channel, because book trailers sell books. But most of the marketing services that other publishers are offering are, crap.
Yeah, exactly.
They cost way more than any book sales they're going to generate.
Yeah. And again, it's better to have somebody that you hire who is going to look at your book and find your target audience, and then decide how best to put your marketing materials out there for people to see. And as a publishing company, yeah, we have a few little services that we offer the book trailers. We offer those 2 books for free that you have to read for yourself and figure out how to market your book with those.
Yeah.
But we don't offer, you pay us X and we're going to send, 10,000 emails telling everybody about your book. And we're going to do
because it's not going to sell books.
Yeah, we're going to put something up on our Facebook page saying, hey, look at this new book. We don't do that.
We do put Book Locker's new releases on writersweekly.com, and we promote them on our social media channels, and we don't charge our authors
we don't charge anything
extra
for it.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, even though you hire a coach, author coach or writing coach or publishing coach, however you want to call it.
They go by many names.
You do have to remember that there are no guaranteed results. Mm-hmm. And anybody that tries to guarantee you results, you probably need to run away from that person.
Yeah, there's a lot of, we've talked about the thousands of scam publishing websites. All of them offer marketing services, and almost all of them offer guarantees. Guaranteed New York Times bestseller. Nobody can guarantee that. Even a traditional publisher can't guarantee something like that. Anybody that offers you guaranteed book sales is a scam.
Yeah.
Do I need to repeat myself?
Go for it. Even Ricky and Clayton do not, nowhere are you going to see, we guarantee you're going to sell X number of books.
Yeah.
What they guarantee is that they're going to put all of their expertise to work to find the best options for your book.
Yep.
And then and then work that with you.
Yeah.
But nobody can promise you how many people are going to buy your books.
Yeah.
And then there's a time commitment.
Yeah, you don't want to hire a book coach and then not answer their phone calls and not meet the deadlines that they're helping you set for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And one of their main jobs is to hold an author accountable for the deadlines that they're set.
Yeah.
Keep you moving. So, that's accountability.
That's the definition of coach.
There you go.
Keep you moving, whether it's on your computer or on the football field.
And when you hire a coach, you may not always agree with their creative direction, which is why you need to kind of weigh out, who you're hiring. But again, if you're hiring a professional who really has a lot of experience stuff, you probably ought to listen to them and go along with what they're saying. Like I say, you were talking about those images in that book.
Yeah.
I recently had an author who I do a lot of our book trailers, and so I built a book trailer for his book.
Oh, I know which one you're going to talk about.
He wasn't happy with the images that I use. He said, "Well, these don't really portray what's going on in my book." I'm like, "Okay, fine."
Yeah.
And what I'll usually do is, okay, based on your book, what do you think the best imagery is for me to use to portray your story?
Now, let me back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We have them fill out a form describing their book, and that description usually gives you a good idea about what
idea.
What the photos should be, what the videos should be in the book trailer, and but sometimes, and this is another thing that book coaches can help out with. Sometimes authors write a great book, and they really suck at the back cover copy.
Yeah,
I mean, we see that a lot. We're like, man, this book is so great, and you read the back cover, and you're like, oh man,
it's a unique skill to take your 300-page book that you wrote and then condense it into a marketable
3 paragraphs.
Story or pitch,
and
that's what you're doing with a book trailer.
And book coaches, they can offer copywriting services, and copywriting is marketing verbiage for your book, which is exactly what goes on the back cover. You want people to read that and say, I have to buy this book. I have to read this book. Yeah.
Well, this person really could have used the services of a book coach because when I send them the draft, everybody that I send a draft of their book trailer to them, at the very last thing we talk about on there is, of course, I expect after the first draft, you're going to want some changes. You're probably going to want a different image on this screen or that screen, and that's fine. We tell people, do not send us images you got for quote unquote free off of Google or anywhere on the internet, unless you know for sure that you're downloading a royalty-free image from a stock image site.
Like pixabay.com.
And sometimes it can be a little tricky to figure out which ones. Well, actually, it's not tricky. If you all you do is you click to download it, and if it'll let you download it for free, it's free.
Yeah.
If anything else pops up other than your image is now downloaded, it's probably telling you that there's some stipulations. In other words, this is a copyrighted image, so you're going to have to pay us for the license to download this image.
Pay the image company.
But what a lot of authors, and we specifically say this, and then we specifically say that if you send us any images that turned out to be copyrighted, we're going to charge you $35 per image. Because of the time it took us, to look up these images. Well, this gentleman decides to send me 5 JPEG images saying this is what I want in my trailer. These pictures, tell the story. And I pulled them up, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of research because every last one of them had watermarks all over them.
From which website?
From, I think, iStock.
Yeah.
Maybe iStock. What's the other big one?
I can't remember.
I can't, but I think it was iStock. And not only did it have the watermark all over it saying iStock, but on the very bottom left corner of each one, it had a serial number stamped onto it.
Right.
So I knew right away these were all. See, what people do is they think they're smart and they go onto these stock image sites, and when they can't download it, they simply right click and save as. Right. Onto their computer, but they don't understand that the stock image sites already figure that out. So when you save as, it sends you a copy with watermark all over it.
I received a message today from an author. She was trying to send us the image she wanted for her front cover, and she went to iStock. And when you go to that website, you have to buy the image. It might be $5, might be $15, might be more. It's not much, but she sent me a screenshot of the page where you could buy that image and said, "Can you use this?" Now, it was, of course, not 300 DPI. It was the whole screen. It was buy the image here, next to the image and everything. There was a watermark on the image. And she said, "Can you put this on my cover?" I'm like, "I don't think you want that on your cover." But this is another thing that book coaches can help out with is they know your book. Yeah. They've helped you through the process. They can figure out the best image because they're experts in the publishing industry, and you don't have to worry about going all over the internet trying to find something. When we do book trailers, Brian reads the description, and the authors provide us with the text for each screen of the book trailer. Book trailer is probably should have explained this earlier. It's a video that promotes your book. Yeah, it's about a minute long. It's got screens with either images or videos in the background, text in the foreground promoting the book, and at the end it tells people how to order the book. Yeah. And with book covers, the author also provides the back cover text, and the cover designer goes online and finds images. And we also ask the author, "What is your vision for the cover?" The cover designer starts designing the cover, goes and finds images that match the author's vision, and then they go back and forth a few times. And you like this one? Okay, we'll use this one, and this font and whatever. So again, this back and forth is something that a book coach can do for the author, and I guarantee the author's going to be happy with the results. Absolutely, as long as you use a good book coach. So,
and in the case of this person with their book trailer, an author's coach might have helped him understand, yes, they're dead serious when they say don't send us copyrighted images, because now his trailer is sitting on hold waiting for him to pay us $35 per every one of those 5 images that he sent me, because he clearly didn't think we were serious.
And
so
you told him about Pixabay.
Yes.
Where you can get, some of their stuff is for sale, but most of it's free. And he chose to go somewhere else and send you watermarked images that you had to research.
And another example, something that you run into all the time. Why did my screen go blank? There it is. Okay. Something that you run into all the time is after editing a book,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
the authors love to go in there and reintroduce all of the errors that you fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you had somebody that you have hired and paid good money to coach you along, they're going to tell you, don't touch that edited book.
Right.
That was done by a professional editor. They know more than you. Don't go back in there and replace it with your ideas of what capitalization and punctuation and sentence structure should look like.
Because authors who insert those errors into their original manuscript, they're going to insert the same types of errors after it's already been professionally edited. So we strongly discourage authors from making changes like that. I had an interesting case. I edited a book, sent it to the author. He decided he wanted to anonymize his book a little bit, so he changed the state name from like Oklahoma to Texas, okay? Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what the state was, but he misspelled the word Texas, and he did a global find and replace.
Yeah.
So
he
Texas
screwed it up
was
every time
misspelled throughout the entire book.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's lots of reasons why a book coach, publishing coach, writing coach, whatever, can help you through this process. And what do they normally cost? Well, it can go anywhere. It's a lot like hiring an editor. It all depends on their experience and expertise. It can go anywhere from about $50 up to about $200 per hour, or some of them do have package deals.
Right.
It all depends on who you reach out to and what their pricing structure is. Whatever price you're going to pay, though, you do want to do a little bit of research and find out what that person's credentials are.
And if you go to writersweekly.com and click on the Contact Us button, or go to booklocker.com and click on the Ask Angela option. If you've got questions about a specific one, send me their name, their website, their email address, and I'll see what I can dig up. I won't contact them. I'll let you know what I find. But I'm happy to do that for authors, because I hate to see people get ripped off, like that one lady charging that author $200 an hour for wasting his time. Man, she was a handful.
Okay, well, it's kind of a short episode, but I think we've said about all we can say about author coaches and publishing coaches. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
Marketplace.writersweekly.com. Click on the book coach, book publishing consultant link, and you can be connected with Clayton Jones and Ricky Pittman, and they will be happy to talk to you about your project and give you a quote. When
you go to marketplace.writersweekly.com. All of our links are right there at the top, just below the title. It's all a bunch of little squares that you can, it's got the title. So look for author coach / book publishing consultant.
That's what it is.
Click there, and that'll take you to Clayton Jones and Ricky Pittman's pages and how to contact them.
Yeah.
And that can really, really, really streamline your publishing experience.
Save you a lot of time, and in the end, it can actually save you a lot of money, because they won't let you spend money on stuff that's just going to be a waste.
There you go. Yeah. And they're not necessarily going to steer you towards BookLocker. I mean, if you've already chosen us, then that's that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for who to go with, they're going to look at who's best for your book, not necessarily, hey, I like BookLocker, so I'm going to direct you in there to them.
Yeah, and Clayton has a lot of industry contacts.
Yeah.
He knows traditional publishers. He knows movie companies. He's currently working with Billy Bob Thornton on a new project.
Yep.
And he's worked with other celebrities as well. He's even worked on documentaries.
Yep. So he knows his stuff.
Yeah. So does Ricky.
All right, folks. However, if you do have a book, manuscript sitting around, you want to publish that thing, turn it into a book.
Within a month.
You need to come see BookLocker. We'll treat you right. Been in the business over 25 years. 27 now, isn't it?
27th
year in business.
Yeah.
Just so much easier to say over 25, because that just goes on and on. We can be another 50 and over 25 years. Anyway, we got an excellent reputation in the industry. 5-star rating with, A+ rating with Better Business Bureau. They don't do stars. Anyway, fantastic reputation. So come check us out, and the price are right.
And
prices are right.
Every Book Locker author is treated like part of the family because they are.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got a really great group of people.
Just like the new grandbaby. Okay.
Right.
All right. So that wraps this up. We will see you all again next week on the next episode of the Writers Weekly podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.